Someone ring the wedding bells because we got some more wedding drama. The first story, am I the a-hole for holding my grandmother's pearls hostage if my partner can't go to my sister's wedding? Oh boy. This story came March 25th, 2026. The sisters are fighting. I, 37 female, have been seeing my partner, 38 male, for 4 years. He was born as a little person. I come from a family who hold some certain views. Some views I internalized too when I was younger, and I tried to move past it as I got older. I am the first to say I wasn't perfect either. When I met my partner, we started as friends, and my family would often make comments when he wasn't around. When we started to date, jokes were made about how I must be so desperate and I had given up. My partner is a fantastic man, the best I've ever met. He's funny, charming, kind, and so loving. I often tell people it's no different than a short girl dating a 6-foot tall guy, so who cares? My family and I clashed for 2 years over him. I fought with them constantly, and I ended up greatly limiting contact with most of my family if they could not accept him. How awful.
How dare you?
He always tried to talk me out of this, that he could take it and that they were just close-minded idiots, but I don't think he should have to put up with that. The one I've kept in constant contact with is my sister, 35 female. She also had misgivings about my partner, but once she got to know him, she moved past it. She's getting married in June, and the plan was for me to loan her our grandmother's pearl necklace, as she felt it would go with her dress greatly. It was left to me, and she got our grandmother's sapphire ring. She messaged me 2 nights ago to ask me if I'd not bring my partner to her wedding. She likes him, but she knows it would cause drama at her wedding, and she doesn't want that tainting her day. I got upset at this, and I told her if he wasn't going, I wasn't either, as he is my family. She asked me to just suck it up for the day, and it was better to keep the peace. I lost my temper at this, and I made it clear to her she could invite us both or neither. I also made it clear she was not getting the pearls if he wasn't coming. That she was a grown woman and she needed to stop caving into our family and put her foot down on her own views. She accused me of holding the pearls hostage so I could get what I wanted, which hurt me, as it seems she cares more about the pearls being there than me with that comment. I know it's her day and she doesn't want our family making comments, but I don't see why my partner, who has never done anything but be kind to her, should be the one to suffer. He is upset over this, telling me that I might regret not going, and he does not want that for me. Am I the a-hole over this? Should I just go or give her the pearls for the day and not go? I can't believe that they're so cruel to your partner and to you about this. That is crazy to me.
That's insane.
Why do they care? I don't get how that affects their life in any way. They're not dating him. What's it to you? We're headed to the comment section. Someone commented and said, not the a-hole, the pearls are a family heirloom that belongs to you. Loaning them is a gesture of closeness and support. If she is unwilling to support your relationship or stand up to the family's bigotry, she doesn't really get to reap the benefits of that closeness by wearing your jewelry. OP said, thank you. I just feel like loaning her the pearls while she is actively excluding my partner is wrong. Next comment. You called them your grandmother's pearls, but they are yours. You are not keeping the pearls hostage. You are using your own property as you see fit. If your sister is making you feel unwelcome at her wedding, you don't have to let her use your property. This isn't the only pearl necklace in the world. You are not the a-hole. She responded and said, they are mine, you're right. It's just a bit of a holdover, I think, as they make me think of her. So in my mind, they are hers, as in my grandmother, even if they are mine now. That's understandable. Next comment, not the a-hole. People are so weird. He treats you right and they have an issue with him over something he has no control over. I can't even imagine how that must feel. She said he absolutely hates it, but he doesn't want me to lose contact with my family. Honestly, if not for him convincing me to have contact with them, I think I would have gone no contact a long time ago rather than limited. Ugh, I don't know how you didn't. I really don't. We do have an update. It's the final update. It came a month later. It's now April 25th, 2026. Very recently. Let's find out what has happened. A few things of note have changed since my last post. Firstly, I'm engaged. Shut up. Ooh. happy for you. Oh God, that's gonna piss your family off. Perfect timing to go no contact, as they are not going to support this very happy moment for you. It was purely by accident, honestly. I was cleaning out our room to prepare for new flooring as we are getting it installed and we're in the process of cleaning. That's when I found the ring. Oh, you found it before he asked? It led to a bit of a laugh between us and he was very flustered. Turns out he bought the ring in January but had been waiting for the right moment and wanted it to be romantic. But honestly, it may not be the most people's dream, but being proposed to in our room while it was a mess and we were both laughing is a memory I will have for the rest of my life. I reached out to my sister and we met for coffee. I told her I was engaged and if she couldn't accept my future husband and wouldn't take a side in our family's views against him just because he was born like this and simply tried to sit on the fence, then I couldn't come to her wedding at all as he is my family. She got very angry at me, accused me of getting engaged just to spite her and try to copy her, and asked me who I thought would even come to my wedding as I had greatly limited contact with most of our family. This is not the behavior of family, P.S. That ain't family. I didn't shout or get angry like I might have a few weeks ago. Honestly, I just felt kind of numb about the whole thing and I told her my friends and his friends and family would be there and that was enough. I also told her I'd be wearing the pearls to my wedding and they were fully off the table to her now, even if she apologized and invited him to her wedding. I told her I loved her and I wanted her to be in my life and that if she ever saw sense, she's welcome back in my life, but until then, it was best we didn't speak anymore. She told me if I didn't give her the pearls for her wedding, she didn't want to speak to me at all and hell would freeze over before she apologized. My fiance was sad for me that I felt the need to draw this line, worrying it was his fault, but I assured him it wasn't and that if she ever pulled her head out of her arse, we'd of course welcome her back. We have been discussing our planned wedding with friends and family. One of my friends, who is a petty biatch, I love her so much, suggested I have my wedding on the same day as my sister to spite her, but I laughed that off as I wasn't about to go that low. Our wedding is going to be a simple thing held in his parents' garden. We're using money we might have spent on a huge wedding as a deposit for the house instead, as we think that's more important. We don't have a date yet, but it's likely going to be spring 2027. Thank you everyone for your input. I'm sad of course, but it's for the best. Maybe there's hope for you guys to work it out. Maybe you don't even want to though. I feel like I'd have a hard time trusting these people and their intentions with me and my partner moving forward, you know? Next story. Am I the a-hole for causing trouble between the bride and groom? What did you stir up over there? This story came August 28th, 2021. My work friend Jane, fake name, is getting married in January. I had never considered her to be a close friend, but she asked me to be a bridesmaid, so I guess that means something. For context, I was brought up in India, so it was a major culture shock for me when I learned just how Americans are obsessed with their wedding days being about them. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Our weddings are filled with at least 700 to 1,500 people. Basically, everyone we know. And weddings are pretty standard unless you are very rich. Nobody actually hires a wedding planner or anything, or even personally chooses the flowers or decorations. But the most shocking thing was, brides get mad at kids if they cry because they are taking away attention, or other stuff like not having pregnant or more beautiful women at weddings, etc. Girl, yeah. Just read the Reddit stories that are on my channel. It's crazy what brides get mad at.
Well, reality TV is right. Brides are crazy.
Many people pay for their honeymoon. Shake my head. In India, asses would get whooped for being so self-centered, but I have learned to respect this no matter how bizarre it is for me. These are real stories that I've heard, and regardless, to say I am scared of American brides, and I decided long back never to attend weddings and definitely not be a part of it unless it's my best friend's. No, I am not going to cut my hair for someone and dress out of my style. I am sorry. Jane knew this. She had laughed at my absurdity, so her asking me was a shocker and I declined, citing the above reasons. She kept insisting, saying she isn't a bridezilla and would be understanding and whatnot. After After 2 weeks of saying no, I finally gave in. Cut to a month later. We have been texting in a group, trying to decide on dresses, bachelorette parties, and whatnot. Jane straight up told one bridesmaid to lose some weight because she might feel ugly with the other girls, and it will not be aesthetically pleasing. How do people like this exist in the world? I got mad at her for that, and she cited the classic reason saying, I have been planning this day since I was a little girl. To which I said, planning what? To be a bridezilla? And she called me a biatch, saying that I should be thankful that I get to be a part of her wedding. And when I asked her what did she mean, she replied saying that I am the only POC bridesmaid, which will mean I will automatically catch attention, thus taking the limelight away from her, and she also has to be mindful of what color will suit me. This person has friends? I mean, guess not. She's asking a coworker who in the beginning said that they're not close friends, so. I replied furiously that she begged me for 2 weeks to agree to this, and then I backed out saying she could play Tim Burton with someone else. I am also friends with Jane's fiance, and out of anger, I told him the details of the fight. He got mad at her, and they must have had a fight, and she called me crying, saying I was a major a-hole and that I should fix this mess. I replied that she should stop being a bunch of names, and I hung up on her. I know brides are supposed to be under a lot of stress and all that, so I am sort of feeling bad about this. Am I the a-hole? Reddit. Edit. I wanted to say this. She said, don't be such a biatch. I think going to her fiance was a wrong move on my side. I should not have let my anger get me. But her fiance was a friend of mine before they started dating, so I thought I was obliged to. Interesting. Maybe you didn't handle it properly or in the best way, but she certainly seems to be the a-hole here. We have an update. Some asked a few questions, so I wanted to answer that and also give an update. I'm sorry, but the story is 100% real, and I'm also sorry if I hurt someone's sentiments by going on a rant about American weddings. I just wanted to tell you how bizarre it really does sound to me, and the stories I listed for examples are all ones that I've heard from my friends. They're all on Reddit, literally. I knew that if I committed to being a bridesmaid, it would be extremely hard for me to bend according to the bride's wishes. So I simply decided never to put myself in that situation unless it's my best friend's wedding, who would be totally understanding. Hopefully. Why should I agree to something I will 99% hate to do, possibly make a deal out of it, and then creating more pressure for the bride? Anyways, someone asked how I knew the fiance. Let's call him Charles. And the thing is, Charles and I went to the same college. We never exchanged numbers, but we were mutuals on Instagram, and I, in a fit of rage, communicated all the details of the fight with him, and I guess in my mind it was justified by saying that he deserved to know about her actions. But yeah, I also did it out of spite, so I'm not proud of that. Charles later called me to say they had a fight, and apparently Jane's sister, we'll say Lizzie, had some comments about the other bridesmaids being out of shape, which led to Jane being all mean about it. Also, Lizzie will be the photographer, so it was hard for Jane to contradict her on anything, and I'm guessing they have some issues between them as well. This is not making me want to start planning my wedding by any means, let me tell you. Just kidding. Mine won't be like this when I do decide to start planning. It will be joy and bliss. FYI, Lizzie was also in the chat group, and Charles said that she had asked Jane to drop me because no matter what, I will not fit in with Lizzie's plans of actions. All in all, I don't think Charles is mad at me for informing him of this crisis. A day after the fight, Jane too called me, calling me a homewrecker, what? And saying that I was just jealous of her because she was getting married. Also, a kind person had messaged me here saying things might even go to HR, and I threatened her, saying if she made one more racist comment, I would drag her to the authorities. She caught the gist and soon hung up. But a few hours later, she texted me saying that I could give her wedding gift now itself, since I won't be going to the wedding. I left her on red, and also the bridesmaid they fat shamed also dropped out of the wedding. And yeah, I wish I could take the whole credit for the Tim Burton comment, but I can't. I had to Google to make sure I was citing the right director before I said that. So thanks to Google, I didn't really fully understand that Tim Burton comment, if I'm being honest. I know who he is and I know the movies and everything, but it's like, because like his characters are all like changed and different. Was that like the joke? I don't know. We've got more stories, but we need some water. It's hydration station. I don't make the rules. Drink your water. Cheers. I told you guys I would give you an update. I finished the book. Very excited to be on this journey. It was great. Obviously, the ending got absolutely insane. Yeah, very happy I read it. And now I have started The Coworker by Frida McFadden. Very pumped for this. I loved The Housemaid. I've read a few of her books, but she has so many, and now I am onto this one. I just started it. Let me know what you are reading. Next story. Am I the a-hole for dropping out of my best friend's wedding? This story is pretty recent, March 26, 2026. I, 29 female, snapped at my best friend, 27 female, yesterday about her wedding. I'm feeling a little guilty right now, so maybe I'm just looking for some clarification. Let me start by clarifying that we both use the term best friend very loosely. She's a wonderful woman and I would go to the ends of the earth for her if I could. Let's call her Maggie. Maggie and I met when I started a new job approximately 4 years ago. She was the girl who trained me and we just clicked because we are so alike. We've maintained a solid friendship the entire 4 years, but we only ever see each other at work. We don't hang out outside of work and we text each other maybe twice a day sharing stories about our crafts or pets. Neither of us are good at talking on the phone and both of us sometimes struggle with socializing, and neither of us get mad at the other if we don't look at our phone for a few days. I say we use the term best friend loosely because while we don't always act like best friends, we are all the other one has. Now on to the problem. A few weeks ago, I was having one of my episodes where I wasn't checking my phone pretty regularly. I had seen where she had texted a few times, but planned on getting back to her later that day. About half an hour after I noticed the text messages, there was a knock at my door, and it was Maggie. This was weird to me because she's only been to my house once, and it was for a party that we threw last year. She wasted no time and jumped right into asking me to be her maid of honor. I was absolutely thrilled, and I hugged her. I was there when she met her fiance. He's a wonderful man and she deserves everything he has to offer her. I said yes, but I told her we should probably discuss some details first. She said no problem and literally turned right around, got back in her car and left. She called me later and I told her while I was thrilled to be her maid of honor, I wanted her to be aware that I was in no way financially stable enough to help out with too much. I just had my second child last year and I am a new stay-at-home mom on top of that. So I don't have a paying job anymore. I knew I wouldn't have the money for a lot of extra things that I knew the maid of honor usually takes care of. She said there was no problem and also asked her sister to be her maid of honor. She wanted too. I know it's not traditional, but it's sweet, and that she would be more than willing to help with everything like that. Some time passes and they had chosen a date for this year, so they are struggling to find a venue that is not booked for the dates they want. This led to looking at venues several hours away. This is not a problem, but they've chosen it to be on a Sunday and they want to rent an Airbnb for the people who have drank too much and can't get home. This is an awesome idea, but I knew right away I wouldn't be able to contribute the $200 she's asking from the wedding party to split it evenly. I had no intention of staying at the Airbnb because my kids have school the next day. The plan was to leave after speeches. I planned on using my tax money for a nice dress for the wedding, but that's about the best I can do. She sent a message in her wedding group chat asking about the money. I texted her separately and I re-explained that even though it's a great idea, I'm not able to contribute to it and that she knew that ahead of time. She got really defensive and told her I was just making her wedding day harder without even meaning to. That made me feel so small because I love her and I would never do that. I thought that by giving her a heads up about my financial situation, it would help. But she really just accused me of being bad with my money. I asked her how I can be bad with money that I don't make, and she kind of got mad and just ended the conversation. I just texted her and told her that while I love her dearly, I feel like it's best that I step down as maid of honor because I obviously cannot do what she needs. That is not her fault, but I don't feel like it's exactly mine either. She called me screaming and told me I was a bad friend and a piece of shite for abandoning her on her wedding day. So I just went off. I told her if I was a bad friend for ruining her wedding, then she was a bad friend for putting me in a compromising situation. I tried to explain to her early on that this would be a problem, and she insisted I take the role anyway. I ended up hanging up first this time and crying about it because I truly hate that this happened this way. I wish I had never said yes and just went on about my business. I know I could be the a-hole for saying yes in the first place, but I had no ill intentions, and I really just wanted to be there for my friend, even if I can't support her financially. Let's check out the comment section. Someone said, "You are not the a-hole. You were upfront about your finances. She's screaming at you and insulting you over something she already knew about. She's not a best friend in any way. She's not even a regular friend. No need to feel guilty. If she only wants you there for your money, she is not a friend at all." OP wrote back and said, "The only thing I really have in her defense is I don't think she doesn't really want me there just for the money. There have been multiple times that she's needed something taken care of and left me out of it. I think ultimately she's just upset that I said I didn't want to stay after the wedding, and I think she wants me to be there. But even still, I feel like she handled this so horribly." Next comment, "You are not the a-hole for not paying. However, you are the a-hole for planning to leave after the speeches. You are the maid of honor. If you can't contribute financially, you should definitely be committing your time the day of the wedding." She responded to that and said, "Yes, and that's fair, which is why I talked to her ahead of time. I can let her know now it won't be an issue anymore because you're willing to watch my kids, pay for the gas to transport them the 4-hour car ride home, and then take them to school in the morning." The sass. Next comment, "You have a husband. Is he not capable?" Oh, it's getting heated over here. Feel the heat. She said, "Asking my husband to pay for someone else's wedding expectations is really weird, and I won't be doing that." I think she more means like helping out, like, can't he stay home and watch the kids and you just go to the wedding? You know what I mean? Like, could you go to the wedding fully and then he stays at home with the kids and takes them to school the next day? I think that's maybe what the comment section is, not so much the money aspect. Next comment, "You love her, but not enough to ever actually hang out with her outside of work. If that truly is your best friend, please seek help. If it's not, then stop calling her that and elevating expectations. You're not a bad friend. You're not even a friend. You're a colleague. Both of you need to act like it." She responded and said, "This is a weird take because not everyone follows the same friendship guidelines as everyone else. No, our personal schedules don't allow us enough free time to hang out more than once every few months. I even said we use the term loosely for this reason. I don't need to seek help for only having one friend. I'm not elevating any expectations, and I have absolutely loved her dearly since day one." No fear, we have the final update, so we're gonna see, because it does not end there. Maybe she changed her mind and she went to the wedding. We have an update. It came 3 days later. We're now at March 29th. It was pretty easy to come to the conclusion that she was the a-hole here, but I have an update that really wasn't what any of us expected. Not super exciting, and it does have a happy ending. Okay. A lot of you had a lot to say about our friendship dynamic. Yes, we do consider each other best friends, and no, we do not spend every waking moment together. People have lives, and just because we don't center ours around each other does not mean that we don't call each other that. And there seems to be a bit of confusion on how I don't have any money but know her from work. Well, let me break that down. I got pregnant, had a baby, and had been spending time away from work to heal and bond with my child. Now, on to the update. Obviously, a mat leave. I understood what happened. You said that in the beginning. You became a new mom and you became a stay-at-home mom. I let a few days pass because ultimately Maggie really has been a great figure in my life and has never let me down once. I know that she was under a lot of stress. I gave her some space and I was hoping for an apology. I did not get that. Instead, I got Maggie showing up to my doorstep at 4 a.m., severely intoxicated and looking like she just got attacked by a raccoon. I was so shocked that I just let her in and I didn't say anything at first. It was a bunch of small talk, like trying to figure out where she had been and what happened. I just told her I would talk to her in the morning and she ended up passing out on my couch. I woke up to banging on my door and it turns out it was her fiance. He ultimately was not angry, just scared because apparently Maggie had taken off after dinner with his parents and he had not been able to get in touch with her. At this point, all he had said was Maggie and his mother had gotten into an argument, but they left before giving me any details. Later that afternoon, I got a call from Maggie with an apology for showing up at my door, but still no apology for the whole Airbnb situation. I let it ride and I just let her rant because she was obviously very much needing to. She went on about her future mother-in-law, let's call her Karen, saying she was driving her mad and she didn't even know if she wanted to go through with the wedding anymore because she can't handle it anymore. I asked her if she wanted to come back over and just yap it out. When she showed up at my door, she had a black eye, a scratch going almost all the way up her arm, and her nose was a little bruised. Oh, I felt horrible because I hadn't seen any of those things in the mess of her makeup and the dark. Her and Karen hadn't gotten into an argument. They had gotten into a full-blown bar brawl. Karen had been feeding the information to Maggie that it was the bridal party's responsibility to pay for everything, and she had canceled 4 of the couple's vendors because she refused to let them pay for them. This was the cherry on top after several other isolated incidents with her and the wedding. I don't really have a lot of the details about the fight because even Maggie says she was very intoxicated and wasn't sure how it even started. There was a lot, but ultimately Maggie's reaction was of pure rage, not to me, but for her mother-in-law. She apologized to talking to me the way she did and for allowing Karen to sway her as much as she did. I could sit here and go on about how we cackled and cried, but we ended up inviting her fiance over, talking it all out, drinking a bottle of wine, and having a game night. It was good to hang out with her again, and yes, they have gone no contact with Karen. I was not expecting that ending. Okay, so all is well in the world, minus her getting in a physical fight with her mother-in-law. You know, you think your day is bad until you stumble upon some Reddit stories. Let me know your thoughts and feelings, you guys. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.